In one brutal week, I witnessed the worst of humanity. Children gunned down at a school, an innocent girl's throat slashed on a subway, and a man assassinated for his beliefs. And it left me asking, what has happened to us? This week has been one of the heaviest in my memory. We marked the anniversary of 9/11, revisiting old wounds. And in the very same week, we saw fresh ones torn open. A shooting in an elementary school stole the lives of little children who should have been safe in their classrooms. A young woman was murdered on her train ride home, her throat slashed from behind by a stranger who reportedly said, "I got the white girl." And a prominent father and husband, Charlie Kirk, was assassinated in front of a crowd simply because of his opinions. It's enough to make anyone despair and scream out in anger. What the hell is going on with society? We're all asking the question, where did our humanity go? How did we come to a point where differences in beliefs or skin color end in murder? It feels like the world is on fire with hate and fear. And in the heat of that fire, it's tempting. Oh, it's so tempting to want to strike back with the equal fury. When I lost my friends, and even my own stepfather to violence, my first instinct was raw, blinding revenge. I grew up in Brazil, and I buried more loved ones than I can care to count because of senseless murders. When my stepfather was assassinated, my brother and I were ready to retaliate. We wanted to hunt them down, the people responsible, and make them feel the same pain. We thought an eye for an eye was the only way. But then I remember a powerful truth. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind." I realized that if we answer death with death and hate with hate, we'll be stuck in an endless night, all of us blind, stumbling in darkness. Violence only adds more violence, my friends, like pouring gasoline on a fire that's already raging. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Those words from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. ring in my head every time anger threatens to consume me. It takes strength to resist the urge to strike back. In fact, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong, as Gandhi also taught. So I did something contrarian, something most people didn't expect. I chose to forgive. I didn't forgive because of the people who hurt my family deserved it. I forgive because I deserved peace, because my loved ones deserved better than more bloodshed. In times like this, we must to put our political beliefs aside and remember that we are not enemies. We are brothers and sisters. We are all hurt by this cycle of violence, no matter what side we stand on. And the only way out is together. Let me share a story about true strength and compassion. When I think of someone who embodied love in the midst of darkness, I think of my father. Years ago in Brazil, poverty was so extreme that some parents felt forced to abandon their newborn babies by dumpsters, hoping someone could care for them when they couldn't. My father was a young man. Then he would walk around our town and look near the trash cans for babies. Yes, you heard that right. He literally went out of his way to rescue those innocent little souls the others have left behind. He would scoop them up gently and carry them to shelters where they'd be safe. But then He didn't stop at dropping them off. He spent time with those children. He taught them music so they could sing and feel joy. He taught them martial arts so they could defend themselves and gain confidence. He taught them how to read so they could imagine a world better beyond the streets. My father wasn't rich or famous. We lived in the same harsh neighborhood as everyone else. He struggled with the same daily pains. But no matter how bad, how sad, or how desperate things got, he always brought joy and hope to those kids, to everyone around him, really. He spoke life into others. He proved that you don't need money or power to make a difference. You just need a heart willing to love. Those struggles were very real in our community. But he showed us that we can't always control how we feel and the meaning that we give to every situation. We can't always choose our circumstances, but we can choose our response. Tragically, my father died young. One dark, rainy day, driving to college with his friends, they collided head on with a gas truck. The car crashed, causing an explosion. In an instant, he was gone. I was 3 months old. It was horrific. The kind of phone call that drops you to your knees. The storm of that loss was the worst thing my mom ever experienced. Well, you know what? That bad weather passed, and my father was never forgotten. Even though he left this world far too soon, he lives on in the hearts of everyone he helped. In our town, people still talk about him with tears and smiles. The man who saved their children, who gave them hope, who showed them love when the world showed them cruelty. His legacy is proof that one person's light can outshine a whole lot of darkness. So when I look at what's happening today in this past week, the anger, the division, the senseless cruelty, I refuse to let it snuff out of the light my father ignited in me. Instead, I ask, what would he say if he were to be here right now? What would your heroes and loved one who've passed on say, looking at us? Think of the person you admire most. Maybe someone who is no longer here but shaped who you are. Maybe it's a grandparent, a mentor, a friend who left too soon. What would they feel seeing you filled with hate or despair? Would they be proud of how we are acting? Or would they shake their head in sadness? Whatever you are on the brink of lashing out in anger or sinking into hate, pause. Picture the loved one's face. Hear their voice. Let their memory be your guide. I do this every time rage starts to poison my heart. I imagine my father, my stepfather, my grandparents looking at me. My stepfather wouldn't want me to become what killed him. My father wouldn't want me to give up hope or humanity. They tell me to be strong, to be the light. I can hear my grandma. They remind me that anyone can love when times are easy, but real character shows when times are hard. Now I want to speak directly to you. Yes, you listening right now or watching me. I have a challenge for you. And it might be the most important thing you do all year. Think of someone in your life from whom you drifted apart or cut off because of disagreements. Maybe it's a family member you stopped talking to after a political argument or they changed religions or whatever. Maybe it's an old friend or a colleague you had a falling out with. You might even like it was their fault, but none of that matters right now. Life is fragile and unpredictable. We see that every day now. So call that person today, not tomorrow or sometime. Pick up the phone today. If you absolutely can't call, then send a message. Tell them I was thinking of you. I miss you. I love you. And I hope you are doing okay. You don't have to dive into the conflict or who was right or wrong. Just reach out with love. Do this at least once a day or once a week if you can. Reconnect with one person or at least text them in a kind word. I promise you, my friend, you will not regret it. You actually start to heal parts of yourself you didn't even realize were hurt. Because giving love heals, bridging divides heals. This is how we start mending the tear in our human family, one relationship at a time, one call or text at a time. And speaking of healing, I wanted to share with you something that gave me chills when I first heard it. It's a song by Tom MacDonald called I Wish. Tom is a rapper who's known for being contrary and brutally honest. And in this song, he opens up about the deepest, darkest fears and regrets that many of us hide inside. As I recite these lyrics, listen closely. Imagine it's someone's inner voice, maybe your own, maybe the inner voice of that person you are angry at, or even the voice of someone who did something terrible but is deep down a broken human being. Just listen. I wish I wasn't fat. I wish I wasn't gay. I wish I wasn't black. I wish that I was brave. I wish, with every candle on the cake that I couldn't quit doing these drugs, but I can't and I'm afraid. I wish that I was smart. I wish that I was rich. I wish it wasn't hard for me to grow up and forgive. I wish that I could help. I wish that I wasn't sick. I wish that I was Tom MacDonald. I'd be just like him. I wish that I wasn't sober. I miss when the party wasn't over. Happiness was right around the corner. Every single night was like the best one of our lives. Now we are older. The good old days are out of reach. I wish they were closer. I wish I wasn't anxious. And I wish I could have fast forward. And I wish that I could rewind, but they don't make that controller. And I wish the nights were longer and I wish the days were shorter. And I wish that I could sleep enough to maintain my composure. I feel crazy. I wish that I was normal. I wish that I could kill myself, but also be immortal. Take me to the oracle. I heard that time is borrowed. Can you give me back my yesterdays and I will give you my tomorrows? Forget all my morals and just live like I cannot remember sorrow. Before all the tattoos and the corn crows, I wasn't different. I was happy. I was calmer. I was young and full of hormones. Now I'm wishing for the time machine that I step into the portal and be gone. I wish I didn't care about the day that I be buried. Used to live like I was ready for it, always in a hurry. Now I am worried, and all my memories are blurry. I'm barely turning 30, and the voices in my head are trying to hurt me. The choices that I made me feel dirty. I was 25 at 13. I was smoking with the seniors, drinking beer and getting flirty. Now the active end ain't working. I need something even stronger. Give my childhood, my mother and my father and my sister, and a Christmas to make up for all the recent ones I missed. While I am touring the country for the living, give me a hug and a Nintendo and a toy box in the closet. Give me everything I wish I had. Oh, wait, I think I got it. I'm a rapper, like I'm always promised them I would accomplish. This is awesome, man. I wish I had a friend to tell. I called him, and I wonder if I jump from here and if I survive the bottom, and would everyone believe me if I told them I hadn't fallen? I am jumped. I wish we were kids again, before everything was on Instagram. Hey, yo, things were so simple then. Me, my 3/4, and all my friends. Way back when, oh Beaver Drive, When the floor was lava, I could fly. Hey, oh, I wish I was big then. Never thought I want to be a kid again. Wow. Every time I absorb those lyrics, I feel the chills. That was Tom MacDonald pouring out his soul, sharing every insecurity, every regret, every dark thought that most of us would never dare to say out loud. I feel crazy. I wish that I was normal. I wish I could kill myself, but also be immortal, he raps. Think about the pain behind those words, the longing, the loneliness. He even says, I wish I had a friend to tell I called him. This is a person who seemingly has everything: fame, success, a platform. And yet, inside, he's just a human and fragile as anyone. I included those lyrics in this message because they remind of us something crucial. Everyone is fighting a battle you may know nothing about. The person next to you on the subway, the colleague who seems angry all the time, even the stranger who did something unspeakable. They all have voices in their head, stories, and sorrows that drive them. That doesn't excuse horrific actions, but maybe it can help us understand that hurt people hurt people. And if we want to stop the hurting, we got to start healing. And healing doesn't happen with revenge or more hated. It happens with empathy, with listening, with love. My friends, we have a choice to make every single day, especially on the hard days when the news feed us horror and our hearts feel heavy. We each have to choose. Do I add to the darkness or do I spread light? It sounds almost too simple, but it is that simple. In your business, in your family, in your community, you, yes, you as a leader, and yes, I consider you a leader. If you are a CEO, an entrepreneur, a parent, a big brother or sister, anyone who people look up to, you set the tone. Your energy ripples out to everyone around you. Be the boss who check in on employees to make sure they are really okay, not just hitting targets. Be the friend who reaches out when you sense silence. Be the stranger who smiles and says hello instead of looking away. These small acts are contagious. They are how we pull each other out of the dark. They are how we prove the contrarian truth that love is stronger than hate. If you listen this far, I want you to take one more small step with me. Share this message, not for me, not for likes or virality, but because the ideas need to live on in more hearts and homes. Share it with someone you care about. Tell them what part made you think of them. Share it with someone you disagree with. Use it as an excuse to start a conversation and mend a bridge. Share it with your team at work. Let them know it's okay to talk about forgiveness and humanity, even as we grind on our goals. Follow me on Instagram at Carlos Inspire. Follow me on YouTube at Carlos Inspires in the plural on YouTube and on the singular on Instagram. Follow me on LinkedIn at Carlos Cicada. I'm pouring my heart out here because I'm genuinely believe we can turn this around. The world might feel like, may feel like, it's falling apart. But you and I can start to sew it back together. It starts with each of us deciding to lead with empathy, to stand up against hate by showing an alternative, by leaving an alternative. Remember my father's story. In the middle of a poor, struggling neighborhood, one man's kindness saved dozens of lives and inspired an entire town. Remember the wisdom of those who have come before us. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. And remember those chilling lyrics. Even those who seem tough or cruel might be silently crying out, I wish, I wish, I wish. Inside for a life of peace and acceptance. I know it's been a tough week. I know the scars of these events will not fade easily. But look at how we respond right now. This is where hope lives, in our responses. Let's honor the memory of those lost by living better ourselves. Let's make the contrarian choice to forgive, to open our hearts, to listen more and judge less. Let's be so full of love and value that it drowns out the hate around us. And I will end with this. No matter how dark it gets, you are never alone in the darkness. There is always someone's love with you. Perhaps the spirit of a lost loved one, the support of a friend, the voice of a mentor like Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. guiding you. Carry that light with you and be the light for others. Together, we can turn this pain into purpose. We can ensure out of these tragedies we rise a generation of leaders who choose unity over division, love over hate, forgiveness over vengeance. You can be the one. You can be one of those leaders. You can be the difference. Stay strong, stay compassionate. Go call that someone you need to call. Spread the word and spread your light. And when you do, my friend, you will inspire others to do the same. That's how we'll keep this flame of hope alive today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. Thank you for listening. This message moved you. Share it with someone else. Subscribe to our podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe, follow us on social media. Let's start that chain reaction of goodness. I love you all. Yes. And I truly mean that. And I believe in us. I even pray for my enemies. Even in a dark time, I believe in the goodness of people. Let's prove that goodness right. Go out. Be a person of value. And as my father would say, always speak life into others. You never know whose life you might save. Stay safe, stay loving. And until next time, be the light in this world of darkness.